Welcome here to the Duke Energy Convention Center, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, Day 2, and we had basketball last night, but now the fun starts. Rugby is getting into full effect today, and it's a mix of, well, a few sports, as you will see. Do not go too far. It is absolutely awesome. We have Team Red right now taking on Team Gray, and it's a mix of, I guess you could say, soccer, not basketball because you're not really shooting, but basketball, soccer-ish, but it's so much more than that too. And obviously these veterans that are playing in these games, they definitely want to win. You saw the competitiveness last night in basketball, so we are going to have an absolutely awesome game here. I'll have two Ryans joining me, Ryan Major and Ryan Lindstrom, because they played a little, so they know more about it than I do. But like I said, we're going to get rolling. We have a lot going on, give updates about other events as well. So check it out. Don't go too far. Wheelchairgames.org. I'm Michael Caratonito and the rest of our crew, so stick around, and we will be back probably with Ryan Lindstrom and or Ryan Major here for Wheelchair Rugby. Back here at the Duke Energy Center, the 37th National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-sponsored by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the Department of Veteran Affairs. And we are underway with the start of, well, they call it, the rugby, but this is just so awesome if you haven't got a chance to see it. Ryan Lindstrom joining me now. Ryan Major is going to be here, but let's get to the starting lineups real quick before I bring Ryan in. For the red team, I do have number 1, Hal Smith, but he goes by Scrappy, so when you hear me say Scrappy, it is Scrappy Smith. Also, number 13 is Christopher Hall for the red team. Number 11 is Joel Rodriguez. Number 10 is Chet Miller. And that's the starting lineup. It's 4-on-4. I'm thinking basketball, 5-on-5. Yeah. That's one thing, Ryan, I should say. It is 4-on-4, unlike the 5-on-5 in basketball, even though the court, as you see, same distance and the goal. So that is the starting 4 for the red team. For the gray team, we have number 13, and that is, I should look at the right team number. That's Gabriel Diaz de Leon for the gray team. Also number 4 is Henry Sawyer. Number 5 is Mason Simons. And number 2, Jesse Graham. So, Ryan, you will be playing in this, actually, in the next game.
Yep, 3 o'clock.
So you're doing, see, David is hooking you guys up because we want you on, but you guys, of course, eagerly volunteer to do some scouting. So it's a win-win situation for you.
Might as well get out here and see what's going on with the other teams.
What are some of the stuff, because I described, like I said, it's probably a terrible description, but almost like basketball, with soccer going on back, and obviously the rugby, because you're going to hear, which is the great sound that we get, the awesome collisions. And I know it's awesome for me because I'm sitting here not taking them, but you guys go at it. It's fun. But what are some of the stuff that the fans should look for?
Well, you're looking at your ball handlers, and you got to pay attention to everybody that's on the court. Where basketball, they play a lot of zone and they don't press as much. We usually press all the way up and down the court. So it's crazy how 4 players can spread all the way across the court and stop a team from progressing when the court is so much bigger than 5-on-5. And then you're looking at your guys that have the ball handling skills, and then you're looking at what's going on between the competition of like your high pointers going after each other and your low pointers going after each other. Yeah, a lot of speed on the court.
We seem to have a stoppage here early on. It's 8-minute quarters, right?
Yeah, 8-minute quarters for them, and I think they're having a problem with the score clock right now because it should be 1-0.
Yeah, let's not do 45-minute quarter. Suck it up, buddy.
Hey, you know what?
You got to adapt, right? No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. That is
a couple hundred timeouts would be good.
Exactly. Instead of, how many timeouts are you given?
You're given 4 timeouts.
Okay.
And you get 2 bench timeouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That clock's going.
Did I get this right?
Right. Man. That's the one thing. The red and the gray. I did not see who. Well, I guess team's up 2-0.
Red scored one time right here.
Okay, so
yeah,
red
is
the guest, and the home team is the gray team.
Yep.
Yeah, I was supposed to tell David that. He's really happy with me right now. But we got it all figured out, so we are good to go. So the gray team is the home team, and we gave the starting lineups, and the red team is the road team. So a 1-0 score early on for red. And again, for those of you watching for the first time, a lot of you have watched before, but again, like some people with this being their first games, first-time watchers, and awesome that they could join us here on wheelchairgames.org.
That's right.
Kids.
Couldn't hear it with the headset on.
Exactly. I was like, ooh. Yes, bad faux pas, my apologies. But that being said, they have the kids play over there. And just
that's an awesome
they
day.
Didn't serve
oh,
it. Yeah, and we'll get into this as the game goes on. But it is an awesome thing because, unfortunately, for them. Oh, and look at that getting
dirty. Oh. That might have been a little tribe payback from last year when Jesse put him down with a spin at the goal line.
Oh. I like. Let me finish up on the kissing, but I like the rivalries and maybe not to hold a grudge, but maybe to remember something. But yeah, the kids play. You said I saw some of the young kids coming by.
Oh yeah,
just to get them involved in seeing that. Because I was talking obviously like I told you yesterday with Jeff DeLeon and Sean Castle about just we grow up from being kids in general before anything ever happens, from playing sports and being competitive, and for some unfortunate reason if they have to start that way, but hey, you know what, there's still sports for them to do.
Absolutely.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and for a lot of them that may have wanted to go down the road like you guys did, serving our country and protecting all of us, might not be able to do now, but again, you're showing them obviously the spirit of this, and I just love the competitiveness. As you said, when the first time I went to rugby here, that's gotta hurt, but it's like bumper cars and going as fast as you can, but obviously a lot more organized. So when I say bumper cars to the fans, I'm not being that novice, but you can hear the sounds of that. But like I said, for the kids, that, like you said, that's absolutely awesome.
Absolutely. It's a lot more than just going out and hitting each other, but there's so much strategy that goes into each and every play. You're looking at your 2 low pointers here, locking up the big guy, Chris Hall, and then Jesse here is guarding the low pointer, see? So it's an offset match right there, see? And they had the 2-5 inbounding. So when they're going to a low pointer to get the inbound, your high pointer's out there, he's going to cover him and take the ball from him.
Okay, but so now why are these three not moving up top?
Because
there for the score, and real quick, that was number 2 for the great team, Jesse Graham, and they're up 3-1 now.
Because anytime you can have 2 low pointers lock up a high pointer and let your other 2 high pointers run defense on 3 low pointers, you're good.
Okay. See, that's why he's
take
here,
that
because I could not describe it as eloquently as he just did. I'd be like, it's just, it's a major traffic jam, and you're trying to get control of all Scrappy has, and now drops it back off to Joel Rodriguez.
That's my boy Joel right there. He's
Joel.
my low pointer down in Tampa on my club team back home. Yeah, and he's getting better and better every day.
So now, when you're saying, like I said, I know you guys know, but the low pointer and the high pointer, I mean, what? Obviously, I mean, low, I'm guessing down low, high up top, but I mean, how do you, that's a great team scores again right there, but how do you?
So a high pointer is a guy that has more function. The higher point you are, the more function you have as far as hands and triceps and biceps and shoulders and back and trunk.
Okay, just like basketball they were talking. Okay.
Exactly. So a low pointer is a guy that's got the grill out in the front of the chair. That's a hook, so they can grab the high pointer chair.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we have the wings, so we can glance off of those and keep moving.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, just the technology. And then point-wise, what you're saying, like.
So each team has 8 points on the court. Can only have 8 points on the court. You can run short point if you want to, but you can only have 8 points. So
you can have more than 8, but you can have less if you want to.
Exactly. Okay. So like number 5 Mason and number 13 Chris Hall are both class 3s, which means they've got great hands, full upper body, and probably no trunk.
Oh, and the breakaway. Well, you said as Team Red goes in, as Chris Hall goes in there, and now it is 4-3.
And I apologize, Mason just got classed down to a 2-5, so he's a 2-5 now, not a 3. But then you've got your guys that are like Joel and well, I guess they were in 1-5s out there. But Joel's our lowest pointer on the court. He's a class 1. So he's going to have weaker triceps, no hand function at all, and going to be pushing with mostly shoulders, biceps, and chest and back.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just the first time I got to see it in Phoenix, I was one of the guys that was one of the best players had his arm is partially amputated, and I mean literally he's going but he bumping around. They're setting screens where he's trying to get around, and I mean but to work in unison. I mean that's what you have to do no matter where you are. You need to work in unison because there were so many times. I mean there were breakaways, but blocking the goal line. It's just
absolutely.
You think somebody's getting in, somebody just swoops over, and
this is the epitome of a team sport because every single player on the court, higher function or lower function, has a job to do, and each player uses every other player for that job.
So 3, like point-wise, would have the most functionality.
You're the ball handler. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Your job is get the ball and score the goal.
Oh, and Gray scores, and I love the back end. I think that's a little trash talking because when I saw it in Phoenix, right, I'm like, that's just a little taunting a little bit. But
a little bit.
So 6-4 now. The Gray team is up.
There goes Chet.
Oh, and a breakaway
looking
now.
Good.
Wow, and he just guides across the line. Does Chet Miller. And that makes it 6-5. Now, is there also, I see, so basically is a 40-second, you have to get a shot off in 40 seconds or it's a turnover?
You have to inbound the ball. It has to be touched within 10 seconds. You have to get over half court within 12 seconds. And then you have to score from that first touch within 40 seconds. Yep. And if you call a timeout or the ball goes out, if you call a timeout under 15 seconds, it resets to 15 seconds.
Right.
Yep.
I learned that in Phoenix. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, wait, why is it going back? And I was just watching the game, and I kept seeing it. I'm like, wait. They're like, no, they took a timeout under. I'm like, oh, so they get to add more time.
Yep.
Trying to tie it up. Oh, nice pass there. Oh, Scrappy tries to grab it, but, well.
Chet comes up with it.
Chet does, and I like that. You
backs him up.
Using the clock, too, going
absolutely
really slow across that line.
Yep, because sometimes you want to score at certain times so you can get that first goal and last goal of every quarter. That's what you really, really want. Because generally this game is a game of single turnovers. One turnover could change the whole game. Yep.
So 7-6, the lead for the Gray team. And make it 8-6 now as Jesse Graham. This is his second game. He's the only guy on either team that's actually was in the Air Force.
I did not know that.
Game goes on. I got quite a few Army guys. Wait,
yep.
Which branch were you on?
I was Navy, actually.
Navy. Oh, yeah. So the few Army guys said, well, Army, is there any other branch? So, and that's what I said yesterday. I love the trash talk. I mean, because you got, obviously, in battle or something you're fighting, but fighting for a common goal, but
we'll all give
on
each
these
other
sports,
credit.
yeah. I mean, my grandpa, a lot of times he was in the Army for 20 years. He was in World War II in Korea. And it was funny because a lot of his friends were in the Army, but some were, may have been in the Navy. But the guys that were in the Marines, they would always like to pick on and be like, oh, how's the Secretary of the Navy doing? And, I mean, they were older, so their trash talking game, it wasn't bad. Maybe not as good as it is now because trash talking evolved a lot. But that being said,
absolutely.
But yeah, those Marine guys, you could just see the banter back and forth, and they were older. I was not getting in the middle round. I was like, yeah. They're like, what do you think, Michael? I'm like, they're all great. I'm out of here. Yeah, they're all great. I'm out of here. Yeah. I did enjoy the show. I'm just like, yep, I'm good to go. Look at this, tied up at 8 now.
Absolutely.
As the red team. So you're saying you have to inbound it within 10 seconds.
Yes.
And then you have another 12 to get it over.
Yeah, you have 12 seconds once you've inbounded to get it over half court.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if it goes out of bounds on the sideline, that 12 starts over again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, look at all we're learning, Dave. Gosh knows if I depended on you for research help like yesterday, that wasn't happening. Because Dave Heil's awesome. But we are coming to you from the Queen City. Do you know why it's called the Queen City?
I actually do not know.
Yeah, see, I know
it's something. To be honest, I didn't
with,
know it was called the Queen City.
Yeah, it's something with the British. I was going to Google it. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to save it for the championships because I want people to keep tuning in. So it's a tease, as we like to call it in the industry. It's a tease for later. I will tell you if you don't already know, and if you send me stuff on Twitter and Facebook why it's the Queen City, I'm not going to talk about it. So, but I have an idea. My sister was an AP history teacher for years, so I should know a little more. That being said, I have an idea as we have a timeout. 10-8 is the score for the Gray team. So Red tying it up, but Gray staying around, Ryan. What little things are you noticing matchup-wise? Let's start with the Red team. What might they need to adjust to?
Well, I think right now what's going to really be the tell-all is when they have to make their subs from their starting lineup to their secondary lineups here in the second quarter probably. Because in this game here at the Vet Games, as opposed to in USQRA, everybody gets their 8 minutes. So playing your different subs comes in to be a big key. Right. So they got to pay attention and make sure everybody gets their minutes.
Sorry, and so when you're saying the point, because it's still like basketball, everybody at least has to play 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So basically, like when you're saying like how they split the number system up, you want to try and balance that throughout the game.
When you make your subs, you want to make your subs so that you're still balanced against the other team, but also able to play the game. I mean, because there's some guys. I mean, we have novices out here, and that's a big part of the whole games here is teaching the new guys and teaching the less experienced players and making sure everybody gets to play, but also learns something and competes. The competition is obviously number one, but teaching the newer players and less experience is very important here.
Well, we have Larry Porter in, 00. You see him there. He has the ball in the red. And also number 5, Jerry Baylor. Baylor, 26th games for Baylor. He was a Marine. And Larry Porter, it's his second, and he was actually in the National Guard, needing an exemption, and it's been a while. I know
he's been fighting for it, and
exactly.
it's worth it. He deserves it, absolutely.
And again, it has nothing to do with politics of it. I get the whole armed force, like the branches and stuff like that. And him and I were talking, and again, he said he fought for it for a long time, but he wasn't going to give up because, it is that. Brethren, he goes, it took me a while, but you know what? He goes, I'm not. He's like, I'm happy to be here out with these guys. As the Gray scores, that's number 10 going across the line. Davis Celestine, his 10th games out of the Navy.
Number 12 is too.
Oh, and also number 12 checked in for the Gray team. That is Tim Kelly, his 11th games, and a fellow fellow Army compadre of yours, to say the least. But yeah, I enjoy the trash talk as the red team scores right there.
It's funny you mentioned there's more Army out here, because even on my club team back home, Dave Celestine is Navy, I'm Navy, and then our other 3 guys on my team are all Army.
So you are, yeah. Oh, so you're in the Navy, yeah. Like I said, I used to love watching my my grandpa's retired friends always harping on, you know, the Marines if they were getting a little too, how's the Secretary of the Navy doing?
It's always good. It's
I'm
always
like,
good.
hey, if they don't have those ships, you're not getting a lot of places, kids. So,
you may call us taxis, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard that. I'm like, yeah, they're taxis that are protecting you when. Even from up above as well. So
absolutely.
11-10 the score. 2.
Oh, wow, there you go.
11-11 now. So it's all
couple
tied
turnovers
up
by Red here.
And that is also, you see, inbounding for the great team, number 4, Henry Sawyer, a fellow Navy compadre of yours, his 5th games.
And this is where those subs come into play. See, Red made some subs, but they made subs that are still getting good play here, and then there's a couple guys here on gray.
So now that, okay, we see Mason
there,
right there
it's
locked
a different,
up.
Yep.
But why, I mean, how can he get out of that? Or is there a time limit for them to be there?
Oh, wow. Okay, so what happened here is Chris Hull was just circling here.
Yeah.
He did not score the goal, okay? So Sawyer went over the line thinking he had scored. So they're calling him, he's leaving the court, so now he's got to go in the penalty box.
Hey, I'll talk to forward, I came in the box.
And how long will he be in the penalty box for?
He's in for a minute or until red team scores.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yep.
so it's like hockey on a power play.
Absolutely.
So if team scores, you're out.
Yep,
If
absolutely.
not, you have to sit there for the whole minute.
The whole minute, yep.
Well, maybe sometimes you take a penalty to get a breather. No,
Well,
you don't want to do that because you don't want to be 4-on-3. That makes it even tougher.
Well, every once in a while, when you're on you're on defense, it's going to be a goal anyways. It's a tough game. You might take one. And the reason they're keeping him locked up there is because once again, the set is not right. So you're less points on bigger points, right?
Right.
So now you got your 2 guys out here that are playing defense, and they got the turnover, right?
Oh, so they were just taking time off the clock.
Yeah.
That's why.
Taking ticks.
Why going around that Chet Miller was just kind of.
See, now their high pointer, Gray's high pointer, is locked up. So now they've got their 2 fastest guys on the court, Red does, playing defense on the 3 lower class players.
Okay.
Okay.
But if he starts moving, do they have to give him?
Nope. There's no longer a contact rule in rugby, so they can lock him up and keep him locked up as long as they want. Yeah. As long as it's an advantage for Red, they're going to keep him locked up.
Okay. But if you start moving, you can try and get out, though, can't you?
He could try, but those are 2 big
luck.
boys.
Right,
Not,
exactly.
You're not getting out. Yeah.
Oh, no, Ryan, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying if you start trying, you don't want to burn up all that energy.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're going to burn up energy regardless of what you're doing. But, yeah, this is right there. He's just not getting out. That's not happening. Those are 2 big boys with a lot of weight holding you in.
Would it be about time? Can you take a timeout there and then you have to reset?
That's the only way he's really good. If he calls for inbound or takes a timeout, that's the only 2 ways he's going to get out of that pick if they don't want him to.
Oh, nice stop there. Good job by the great team. As Davis Celestine.
There you go, Davis.
Look, he's staying with him. Oh, but he slips around. Nice move there by Chet Miller. And now the red team.
See, he's calling for inbound there. That's how he's getting out of that pick.
Red team up 13-11. They like to mess with me on the scoreboard. Do not look at that.
They keep messing it up. Absolutely.
No, they do a good job.
Yeah.
Look, they're volunteers. It's just funny
absolutely.
They know that I need to talk about it. They're like, look at us, mad scientists. Oh,
Does Davis get it?
He's got to get it.
Oh.
So, and that's another thing. You can outlet to somebody, but you have to have control of it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Good hustle there. So 13-11, 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Oh, but because it went out, now it gets inbounded all the way back.
Yep, because there was zero. There was no touch down here.
Gotcha.
So you have 10 seconds to touch.
Dave, see, we can play. I so want to get in a chair with you.
I've got an extra chair coming this afternoon.
Well, no, not with you guys. Because you wouldn't even have to lock us up because it would be like Comedy Central. I mean, if you guys want comedy relief, him and I would be going at it. You just bump into us once, we'd be like, oh, fumbleitis.
I'll put you in a chair. You can try it out.
You know, honestly, like I said, I got a good run in this morning. On the treadmill, though, inside. But I should go outside because living in Phoenix, it's like 100,000 degrees. It was raining. But it's a little humid there. I know it's humid, but 95 degrees with 90% humidity is terrible. But 120 degrees, whoever said, Ryan, it's a dry heat, has no clue because you walk outside 2 minutes, your skin goes.
I will tell you, I was in Phoenix in April for National Championships for Rugby.
April's earlier. I'm talking July.
It was 105, I think.
Yeah, it hit 103. Oh, it was like the first, second weekend?
Like that. I think so,
yeah. So it was like, actually went over 100 that weekend. It was like 102, 103.
In the shade, it was lovely.
Well, yeah, because it hasn't hit over 100 every day. You're 100% right.
I'll tell you what, 100 degrees in Florida in the shade is 100 degrees in Florida in the shade.
Right, but you got the humidity, and I believe it. But you also don't get over 120. And when it's 110 every day and up for a month, oh, look at this battle down. We're talking about weather. These guys are like, just zip it. We're inside. Oh, nice outlet there. And
jeez, there you go, Chris.
Wow.
Down the sideline.
What a run there. Well, like he said, that was number 13. Lucky 30. It's an Italian lucky number, Chris Hall. His 8th games in the Army as well. And look at this, red up now, 14-11. But, what do we have
That's
there?
the quarter.
Oh, the end of the quarter. Oh,
yep.
I didn't hear the horn go off. I thought he called it. I'm like, they barely touched. That can't be a penalty.
If you watched Chris when he went down there, he cruised along the baseline, taking ticks, and then went right over the line.
Well, don't forget, we're here at the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games watching quad rugby, and it is brought to you in part by General Electric and Procter & Gamble. We're going to step aside after one quarter. 14-11 is the score. The red team leading over the gray. We're going to give Ryan a little bit of a breather because he's doing all the hard work here. I'm just sitting here chiming in for fun along with David Heil and our crew. Michael Caracino will be back from the Duke Energy Convention Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Back here at the Duke Energy Convention Center, the 37th National Veterans Wheelchair Games Quad Rugby is brought to you by General Electric. General Electric, a great sponsor and proud partner of the Veterans Wheelchair Games, and our friends at P&G are for Tim Pogo, Procter & Gamble. And, again, they have done such a great job coming out here and being sponsors of this event. 14-11, he is Ryan Lindstrom joining me, the smart one that plays this game, making me look smarter, so I appreciate it. Now 15-11 because the red team gets a point. Do you call them goals?
Yeah, it's a goal.
Goals.
Yep.
We'll go with goals because being a former soccer player, I'm down with goals.
Yep.
And I see behind us, or they were warming up with the what are they? It's soccer. It's called.
Yep, it's power soccer.
Power soccer.
Yep.
Which, of course, it should be because it's the most watched sport in the world. Just saying, everybody. But all right, so you're talking about adjustments that way, but now when we look at the gray team, who had a little bit of a lead, and obviously Mason is going to be one of those guys that gets locked up a little bit more, like you said. But what can they do in situations like that, Ryan? What can they do to get him away from that?
Their picker needs to come over and help out. What he basically needs to do is send his picker to their picker to keep him away from him so he can stay moving.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his job right now. Communicate with his teammates and make sure that happens.
Well, so they a little bit of a timeout there, and now he's they're trying to get him, but now he's moving. Oh, cutting across, and it's almost like hockey. See, it's a mix of everything because you'll see a skater go back to get that momentum to go, and again now a little bit of a traffic jam. Ooh, they get him the ball
right at half court there.
And they were able to get the ball over. 25 seconds left to try and get a shot. Oh, nice fake pass there. The defense is there trying to get around him. Ooh. Oh, it makes him slide and has to cut back in, but his team, forming a convoy beautifully in front of him. And he passes it out to his teammate at the last second. What a heck of a pass there. And that was Jesse Graham that gets the goal. And they are back to within 4. Talking to your mom, huh?
No, my teammate actually back in Tampa's watching.
Nice. What's his name?
Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Service.
You better not be talking
Steve.
trash about Ryan's broadcasting skills. Oh, you must be a pick. Well, yeah, I'm not saying you're not smart. I'd probably.
He's obviously a low pointer, right?
Yeah, I mean exactly, but that's cool, Picker. Hey, they need you, Steve. I'm down with that, Steve. So I would play with you guys anytime, but if you start laughing at me, I'm gonna start just throwing the ball at you as hard as I can as it's a pass. That's all I'm saying. So 15-13 the score now. The red team is leading over the gray team. The red will inbound the ball. Is coming over. That is Larry Porter. As he'll inbound, he's also on the court with Jerry Baylor and Chris Hall. And number 10, Chet Miller, are the 4 on the court for the red team. For the gray team, we have number 2, Jesse Graham. Number 5, Mason Simons. Number 10 is Davis Celestine. And number 3, Emmett Pryor. His second games, a Marine. And happy to be here. But I mean, like for Gabriel Diaz de Leon, his 26th games. 10th for Davis Celestine. Mason said he had to think about it. He was going to get back to me, and Mason never got back to me. So, but it's more than one for Mason. I do know that.
Yep.
Chris Hall, this is his 8th games.
It's 14 for me. 14
for you. Scrappy Howell, he's got his 13th. Gerald Bartles, his 5th. Larry Porter, was talking about earlier, his 2nd. And for Robert Fecto, it's his 6th. Chet Miller's 5th. Jerry Baylor, though, 26, like I said. And for Joel Rodriguez, his 3rd. Oh, look at that little stoppage there. But able to get across the line for the goal is Gabriel Diaz de Leon. And that makes it 16-13 in favor of the red team. They were able to tie it up earlier, Ryan, but you said one turnover could be the difference and lead to a break. Oh, and look at Mason getting through it, and no one's going to get in front of him. And that's right. So, wait. I almost forgot the payback from last year because usually you don't see you guys giving him a bump going across the line or anything. You just let him go.
At the baseline, generally that's going to be called a foul, but every once in a while you might get one good. Yeah.
So what was the issue from last year?
Well,
we had that early on.
Yeah,
Come on,
last
you gotta spill the dirt,
last
Ryan.
year, Chris is going down with the ball, and Jesse just decides to go ahead and tag
Chris
him
Hall,
in the
right?
back of the wheel. Yep, right
and
there
Jesse
at the baseline.
Graham, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And Jesse decides to just tag him right in the back of the wheel, and Chris Hall went down with thunder pretty hard.
So he held on to that for 365 days.
He just posted the memory on Facebook like 2 weeks ago.
I love it.
Yeah, posted the video.
Oh, that is absolutely awesome. As they now, what are the official? Oh, wow. No, Steve, I am not doing your trash talking.
And to be honest, he has a cupcake on his forearm.
Oh, he does?
Yep, absolutely does.
All right, well, if Hall is well, I'm not going to say he's known to me as a cupcake. I talked to him before the game. Very, very nice. But if he has a cupcake on his arm, that's cool, Steve. But I will not do your trash talking bidding for you, bud. You need to do it on your own.
We all play together all the
Nice.
time. I mean,
now you're down in
year-round.
Tampa, you
Yep,
said?
I'm in
Okay,
Tampa.
nice.
Chris Hall's actually in Jacksonville.
Okay.
So we play each other probably 4 or 5, 8 times a year.
Nice.
I mean, it's unbelievable. We all know each other really well. When Jacksonville was just starting up, we went down and helped out. Oh, there goes Mason. See now, and when he's going down the court here with the ball, he does not want to turn around. If he turns around, play stops, and they have to inbound again.
Oh, okay. So that's
he
why
wants
if you
to
have the
score that
breakaway,
goal
exactly.
and then get Mason up off the
You
court.
don't want one of your best players down on the court, or any of your players.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I say best. You're saying obviously he's the focal point, but that being said, anyone's down, it can really stop it. But
Absolutely.
you just stay there, and he's going to score, so that works. So
Yeah, he wants to score before he turns around, because if he turns around, they have to inbound again and try and score with everybody playing defense again.
Gotcha. Well, 17-15 is the score. Red team leading 2 minutes, a little bit over 2 minutes now into the second quarter. He is Ryan Lindstrom. He will be playing in the next game. You'll be able to check him out. So, yeah, he's saying nice things about everybody, so they can't talk trash about it. Because I'll tell you, Jeff and Sean were going back and forth yesterday because we were egging on the War Eagle thing. So
That's
for all
awesome.
you, Sean, I mean, he went to Alabama, but maybe it's because, I think Jeff's maybe was alluding to he couldn't get into Auburn. I don't know how that. Now Jeff's going to get mad at me if he hears that. No, Jeff didn't do anything. All right, we got some substitutions though for the red team back in the game. That is number 11, Joel Rodriguez. Also, number 5 for the red team is back in, Jerry Baylor. As getting some water. And we also have number 3 from the red team, Gerald Bartles. Again, his fifth games in the Navy.
Here's where these substitutions come into play here.
Right.
Getting everybody their time and making sure you got the lineups out there correctly.
Right, because like I was saying to you, I mean, the whole thing with getting seeded by points, and I figured, maybe, states would do it, but if one state has too many high, it's like it's going to be an unfair matchup, which we understand. But, yeah, I mean, not getting really any too much prep time to play with the team. You understand how to play, but
absolutely,
you got to get in. But so your guys' task is to get into a rhythm
absolutely.
Pretty quick and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, basketball, I saw it yesterday. Most guys got into it pretty quick.
You have to. Well, a big part of it is knowing what your position is and knowing what your job is while you're on the court. So, and like actually a bunch of us play with a team called Oscar Mike that travels.
Okay.
It's a military veteran team. We go to a couple different tournaments a year, so we all get to play with each other a little bit throughout the year. But coming to the games, there's also players that we don't see throughout the year, and it's interesting.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of those things where when you look at people like, they're playing so good together. Look at that. But yes, the pickers are allegedly the smartest players, according to Steve.
According to my low pointer.
What up, Steve? We're glad you're chiming in. Glad you're checking it out. Again, wheelchairgames.org. So glad we could bring this to you.
A little battle here.
Comes across halfway. Yeah, going one-on-one. Now everybody catching up. Ooh, nice cut off there. But breaking down the middle is Mason Simons. Got away, and he puts it in for the Gray, and they are.
Here's where this is going to get interesting. Because
Within
now
one.
Red had to make their subs, and Gray's got 3 of their starting lineup on the court.
Yes, they do. A 0-0 for Gray in the game. That is Lauren Strong, his 11th games. And we get a timeout from number 13, Chris. Yeah, I was saying to him, because 13 is actually in Italian, it's not like a skid. It's a good luck number.
For me, it's good. That's my jersey number as well, actually.
Oh, well, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me that now. I don't have to ask you later. Doing my homework. But anyway, no, but yeah, and my grandpa, who my mom's side served in the Army, his birthday was April 13th. So,
wow.
That's always one of my favorite numbers. I love 13.
Friday the 13th is always my luckiest day.
And people say it's, this and that. Yeah, I mean, if there's a full moon and weird things happen, But, yeah, he said and the turnover there is on the inbounds. That is number 12 in the game for Red, Robert Fecto. 6 games out of the Army, and another goal for the Gray, and we are tied up at 17.
What do you want the chair?
Right here.
To be able to stream. Get the wall back there?
Yeah.
Okay, and I brought you.
So 17-17 the score, make it 18-17 as the Red gets across the line. And now Red is actually up 18-17. And it looks like so back at it again. And so, yeah, 18-17 the score. 4:45 left to go here before halftime. And we have trying to adjust the chair real quick for Lauren Strong. Oh, his wheel.
Well, that wheel is jacked, I think.
Yeah. And it's almost like having a mini pit crew. You got to
Absolutely.
The coaches, volunteers, whoever, you go over there. And I saw it in Phoenix a few times too. It got fixed. I mean,
absolutely.
Go over there.
Yep.
I was like, holy wow.
You want to have two sets of wheels extra with you so that you can, when you get that flat, you can change it out quick.
So Emmett Pryor checked in for the Gray team. They get it to Mason Simons, and he will go across the goal line and will be tied up at 18.
And see here, they're going after Chris to lock him up because he's the only real big ball handler on the court right now.
Yep. And we have it's being inbounded now. What?
Yeah, that was a held ball.
Oh, okay.
Because the low pointer had it, high pointer was next to him, couldn't quite cover it up right away, so he gets the jump ball, just like basketball.
Oh, so you're saying if a high pointer is next to him and you just
that low pointer has got to cover it up,
right?
Or else when he gets his hand on there, it's shared possession.
Okay,
yep.
I got you. Also, number 3 in for the Red team, Gerald Bartles. Sending it down the court is Fecto. But Mason Simons able to get it. Can Fecto get over to cut him off? Oh, and Simons will squeeze right by him. And now that will put the Gray up 19-18. The substitutions being very key, but man, everybody, it's just, again, working in unison. And said some guys, like you said, like Joel Rodriguez, I mean, basically using his shoulders and biceps.
Absolutely, yep.
It's
or like Pryor down there, the other low pointer's at 0.5. He's got less function than Joel.
Emmett Pryor, yeah, number 3, yep.
And then there's a mix of different functions. Some guys have trunks, some guys don't. Some guys, and then they don't have other function as well. It's pretty wild.
As Hall gets the ball, trying to get up court. Ooh, gets a nice screen there from Bartles, and Hall will coast across the goal line, and that'll make it 20-19 in favor of the Gray. Simons, if he can't go forward, trying back. Ooh, accidentally runs into his own guy.
One of the downfalls of going backwards, you can't see where you're going.
Tries to look, and Pryor trying to get unhooked from him.
In fact, they'll pinning them both in.
Oh, his
the ref
wheel just got
set
caught
him
under.
free.
Well, his wheel was under, and he's trying to get out, but couldn't move it again. I know it's. See, as a competitor, I know he's like, "Come on, you can't do that."
There's so much I want to say right now.
You can.
Well, right there, really, Robert Fecteau is pushing Mason into his own low pointer, which had them locked up. If he'd have let go, Mason could have pulled out and been fine. But he did.
Gotcha.
And then the ref just gave him a free pass.
So Joel Rodriguez gets the goal there. I get it. No, again, competitive part, I completely get it. So that ball goes in the middle now. Oh, big collision there. And that was Jesse Graham that takes the brunt of it from Chris Hall. Chris Hall giving a little tap, like good contact, but Jesse Graham got the worst of that.
Oh, absolutely. Chris Hall is definitely no little guy.
But they both have a smile on their face. Graham's got a smile. He's laughing a little bit. Emmett Pryor comes over and says, nice take there.
Chris finally got his payback from last year.
Well, he got it early, too. Now he's seeking a
Well,
I don't know. Now
Jesse
the ball's
didn't go down, so it didn't count.
Because Chris went down.
Yeah,
past the goal. I thought he just didn't like the hit. But
went down. Yeah.
All
right,
Ryan.
Yeah.
He's Ryan Lindstrom giving me all the – yeah, so he's going to – see, if Dave and I get out there, I just want to go – I just want to – oh, God, I just want to get a beat on him. Well, I'd be slow. But at least you'd get a good laugh out of it, though. But
you'd be surprised once an able-bodied gets used to pushing a chair so fast. Yeah, we actually have come to practices.
But with this, I mean, that actually helps with balance a lot more with the angle of the wheel. We were talking about that in basketball, too, with Sean yesterday. Castle, that I mean, the technology and just because, I mean, we were talking about World War II, and Jeff was, I mean, it's like actually all these guys came back and they didn't know what to do. They were in this huge, basically, building, and that's how wheelchair basketball started. They didn't have the wheels out today. They made a hoop, and they said, let's get out and play.
Exactly. Yep.
But the technology, to my point, when I was at the games in Phoenix, like I told you, see the wheels, I was like, man, how can they? And I looked at the chairs, and I was like, that's for balance. I'm like, I passed physics.
For balance,
I get it.
And then turning. It's like a gear ratio: small circle, big circle. Turn a small circle up here, it's bigger down there. You turn faster. Yep. The more camber you have, it's called camber. The more camber you have, the faster you're going to turn, but the slower you're going to go.
Right. Exactly. So it again has to be the perfect balance.
Yep.
But and they fixed his wheel. Good to see him back in the game. Warren Strong comes back in for the great team along with Tim Kelly, number 12. Number 2 is Jesse Graham. And where's my fourth? Oh, there he is, Mason Simons. And then for the red team, Joel Rodriguez will be inbounding. Chris Hall is also on the court with him, along with number 5, Jerry Baylor, and the 00, Larry Porter. Chris Hall getting bumped, and he goes. So if he bumps him out of bounds, it's a turnover, right?
Turnover, absolutely. Yep.
See, I don't know. That's where I got to kind of disagree. Because you can't, your momentum, if somebody gets you from the side, you just go out of bounds.
That's where you control your chair. You got to stop before they hit you.
That is okay. Touche.
Change your
I'm
own
trying to make it
direction,
easier.
right?
I know. Trying to make it easier.
Can't make it easy.
But I always want to make it easier for the defense. So the fact that I just try to make it easier for the offense, there are people, my friends that are listening, are like,
wait a minute.
Did some alien abduct him or something? Because no.
This game is already a very high-scoring game.
Yeah, 20-20. As we have 3 minutes and 15 seconds now left to go here in the second quarter. Chris Hall, look at that, switching courts. Can Mason get there? He cuts in. Oh, Mason had him, but he turns out. And Chris Hall goes across, putting the red team back up by 1, 21-20. See, but you're right. I mean, you can turn quick.
Absolutely.
Mason was in position, and Chris you get used to it, cut back. Yeah, I would get, oh, God.
You bait it, and it's just a little hop to the right.
All right. Oh, nice pick there. Those two, well, they're enjoying saying hi to each other. There's a lot more how you doing going on right now.
I think there was a little sigh of relief from Jesse there when he hit back down on his wheels.
Yeah, because Jesse Graham was looking at Chris Hall, who, again, has that look. Ooh, and Joel Rodriguez gets the ball to Chris Hall. Now we have a little bit of a jam, but gets it back to Rodriguez. Look at Joel go. Oh, gets cut off. Can he make the pass? Oh, they're going to – because Jesse got his hand on the ball.
Yep.
So jump ball.
No jump ball. Well,
Does it switch?
we kind of call it a
possession
held
arrow?
ball
Held
here.
ball. Okay, held ball.
I
Gotcha,
messed it up
gotcha.
too, but we still call it a held
Held
ball
ball.
because we don't exactly jump.
But so is it switch? Is like basketball with
Yep,
possession
switches
arrow?
possession.
So each time. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like half a turnover.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's
A little
inbounded
miscommunication
by
there.
Tim Kelly, and it goes right to Chris Haldo with the bounce, and now the red team ties it up. Oh, no. The red team takes the lead,
Yep.
22-21. Don't go too far, wheelchairgames.org. Our next match coming up at 3 o'clock. The gold team, headlined by this guy, Ryan Lindstrom, will take on the black team, who is going to be headlined by the guy who was going to fill in, Ryan Major. Didn't know if, I thought you were big timing us, today, like stretching out, getting ready,
Trust
hanging
me, I
out.
was trying to get here.
No, come on. No, but we're happy you could be a part of it because, again, I could not play that. I would not know pickers are the smartest for Steve. So, that's the thing. Oh, your mom's is she listening?
Yep.
Awesome.
She's here actually.
Oh, she's here. Nice.
She enjoys coming to the games. It's a big family here, so we have friends everywhere.
Say we had a good crowd for basketball, but the rugby, you guys generate a crowd.
Yeah, rugby is probably the biggest sport watched here at the games, besides maybe Super G.
Super G,
Yeah.
I look
that's
forward to
another big
that
one.
too.
That is an incredible event.
Nice pass there by Simons to Graham, and the gray team ties it back up. Yeah, it looks. What's that? The Super G and the slalom.
Yep.
Oh,
It's unreal. It's like Ninja Warrior for wheelchairs.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I do like American Ninja Warrior, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say when they started it in Japan, I'm sorry, the original.
The original
Rocks.
always
Absolutely
will be better.
rocks.
Absolutely. It's a little too clean cut now. Back then they'd be running the course and you'd think, oh, they might fall on some rusty metal or something, but not anymore.
Right, and that's the thing when you look at it too. When you look at those obstacle courses, you could obviously appreciate that, just the insanity of it.
Unreal.
And they've actually had a few, because it was tough with working with the guys that are saying, oh yeah, you guys, but the men and women that are here, they've had some women do some amazing things. As Red had the
Unreal.
lead 23-22, but now Gray ties it up, as you see there, 23-20. Yeah, you watch it, and just to go further and complete the courses and try and get there. And look at that. Joel Rodriguez breaks away. I don't know, man. I know it goes by use, Ryan, but Joel out of one, he's fluid. He's looking really good.
He is, absolutely. He has come a long way. He's only, I think, this may be his third year.
This is his third game.
Yep,
He told
this is
me,
his
yeah.
third game, but it's his third year playing rugby as well. And he plays on my club team back home. And he's smart. He plays the game really well, and he's picking it up so fast. And he works hard at it, and it's awesome to see the progress. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel Diaz de Leon. Oh, trying to get away. Takes a dribble, trying not to get the held ball. And he's able to get away there from Jerry Baylor. And look at that, De Leon. Oh, gets the screen at the end from Graham. And De Leon in his 26 games. Well, he is definitely
Still a champ.
the old vet of the rugby team.
Absolutely.
Tied up at 24 as Rodriguez gets cut off, but look at
Nice
that
pass.
coming in. 0-0, Larry Porter. And he takes a second as we're under a minute now here in the second quarter. All in for the first half. 45 seconds as that ball gets knocked out. It'll be re-inbounded by Gabriel Diaz de Leon. As Reds up 25-24. Oh,
Steve just texted me. I
Oh.
taught Joel well.
oh, look at this.
That's great.
Steve, who have you not taught is what we want to know. Obviously, I'm not saying my man skill, Steve, but Ryan thinks he may have taught you a thing or two. I don't know. I'm not trying to start a little rivalry here. Just saying.
He did play in my first chair.
Nice. So Mason Simons gets the ball ahead, throws it up to Graham.
Ooh.
Oh, and it's taken away by Hall.
A little bit of a lazy pass there.
Oh, Simons. Oh, look at him keep the balance there as he bumps into Jerry Baylor.
Trying to call for the spin there.
Baylor in his 26 year too. Yeah, trying to make a crafty vet move there. I like it. What's it? Play smarter, not harder, right? Ooh,
another lazy pass.
Yep, Simon's able to take it away from Porter. But yeah, play smarter, not harder.
Yep. One of the things we say is a turnover always comes right after a turnover.
Oh, look at this race, and he's trying to get there. Oh, he hits the cone, but you can see Chris Hall, man. Oh,
he wanted that.
Oh man, he's on a roll. So 25 all, and our final 5 seconds. Well, you hear the horn that time ticks away. Man, what a great job both teams have done. For the quad rugby here at the 37th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. So proud to be brought to you in part by General Electric, doing such a great job, obviously supporting the vets. Brian and I talking about technology, obviously GE leading that, and Procter & Gamble, P&G, you see them all over here, what they have done. Obviously a lot for vets. They're here in Cincinnati as well. It's great to be a part of it. So we're going to step aside, but we'll have the second half between Team Red and Team Gray here on from the National 37th Annual, National Veterans Wheelchair Games. Back here in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games. You are watching Quad Rugby, and it is brought to you by phenomenal sponsors, General Electric, GE, making sure that these games can go on. So awesome to have the sponsors involved, and our friends at P&G, Procter & Gamble. They're based here right in Cincinnati, this being in their own backyard. Pogo had a chance to catch up with a lot of the sponsors the other day. I was with them, so glad Procter & Gamble can be a part of this as we start the second half here. I'm Michael Caratanudo. Ryan Lindstrom, well, he had to get ready for his game, but he'll be back shortly. He's just actually getting into his rugby chair, which, as you see, again, very, very different. And, well, second half getting started like the first half ended. A little bit of a trap going on. As for the gray team inbounding and on the court will be Joel Rodriguez, along with number 13 Chris Hall, number 12 Robert Fecto, and number three, yes, is Gerald Bartles for the gray team. We have number 10, that's Davis Celestine. Also number 4, Henry Sawyer, his 5th games out of the Navy, and number 12, Tim Kelly, his 11th games out of the Army. And also Mason Simons on the other side of the court, number 5. He'll get back to me. I'll find out how many games he's been at, but he is also in the Army. So our halftime score, look at that, man. You rushed back. You don't have to rush back. You're fine. You're fine. As Ryan Lindstrom back, and the halftime score, 25-24. Or tied up at 25, pardon me. It's 25 all at half. And now start the third quarter. And the red team with the ball first. Look at you, man. Got in your chair. You're back.
Got to fly, right?
I was going to say, I don't want you to mess up your pregame routine. It's like, relax. We're here. We're good.
Can't leave you alone.
Well,
right?
I know, because, the rules part, I think Steve hit you up a few times too, by the way. So I didn't read what he said, but Steve was very happy watching this game, listening to them. Well, you taught him everything, so it's cool. And then Steve's passing it up.
Yeah.
So he's not here to defend himself. So that's the best thing about having the microphone.
So I get to win. You guys can't read the text he's sending me right now, so it's nice.
Hey, I don't. That actually works. Well, as we get the first goal by the red team, they're up 26-25, and make it 26-26 as Simons goes across the goal line. Just a minute into this third quarter. And now look at that, on the break there goes number 12, Robert Fecto, and he'll go across the line. It's Henry Sawyer trying to catch up, but red goes back up 27-26. So, Ryan, the second half we saw what the substitutions did. So at halftime, I'm guessing they're probably talking more about
they got
about matching up certain subs and maybe leaving certain people in and maybe bring one sub in to kind of balance the lineups, right?
Well, each team definitely has their number one lineup. So once they get their time in, you kind of want to try and get that in the first half, which I think they mostly did. So once that's all done, now they're going to go back to their number one lineups and run what you brung, basically. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, they will. Simons gets, and he could have went across the line, could have Chet Miller, but he handed it off to, or I'm sorry, that was Davis Celestine, but he handed it off to Mason Simons. And Simons took it across, all tied up at 27 as the ball rolls out of bounds. And it will be inbounded as we get a substitution coming in for the gray team, Gabriel Diaz de Leon. Oh, wait. And now they're making him wait, but let's see. Yep, so now he checks in the game. Gabriel Diaz de Leon will check in, and he'll get the pass right away. Just trying to set everybody up. Again, 26 games for him, so he gets a escort to the goal line. Oh, cuts back in. Nice turn there. And he'll get it inside the cone. Chris Hall trying to stop him, but Diaz De Leon puts the gray team up by 1, 28-27. Oh, nice collision there. Diaz De Leon and Chris Hall, and now and it looks like we have a timeout as the gray team will go towards their bench and meet. It's official on the other side. See what the meeting is at the, well, we're across from the official scorers table. Man, what an action-packed game this has been so far. Just a strategy that you see, and somebody has an angle cut off, and then all of a sudden, just that quick turn that Ryan talked about. As now back to action as, well, we have to come to the near side to inbound, and for the gray team, that will be number 4, Henry Sawyer. Gets it right over to Jesse Graham. Graham now bounces it across to Simons, and he'll take it across the goal line. The gray team will be up by 2 now, 29-27. So, held ball there, and the possession arrow is with the gray team. And now we got a reference. Oh, one of the numbers fell on the court. So they'll pick it up. And inbounding again, you see him there, Henry Sawyer for the gray team, trying to see if they can go up by 3. Look at him getting ready over here, cutting up the gloves.
Trying to get
taped
double
in here. Duty is, going across there is Jesse Graham. So now it's a 3-point lead for the gray team, 30-27. The red team having a tough problem inbounding. And now going back to inbound, that'll be number 12, Robert Fecto. Sends it in, gets it to Joel Rodriguez. It's Rodriguez trying to elude Mason Simons. And now Jesse Graham. You see there, cuts him off, and we get a whistle. So it looks like
it's one of those times where that substitution, bringing that inexperienced player in, while he's still learning, but it's number 3 there, I think his name is Steve, I believe.
For the red team, yes, that is, Gerald Bartles.
Oh, Gerald
Bartles,
I apologize. But yeah, he's less experienced. He's experienced with the games, but not with rugby as much. So he's still learning and trying to figure out where to be on the court. Yeah, after playing for years, you eventually get to where you just know where to be.
And that's got to be another thing. I mean, talking about, obviously, if you're a scorer and you want to get out of the way, you got to figure. Again, I think you're going to start picking up, okay, I can't get caught here. They're trying to trap you, got to go back.
Absolutely.
Cut back this way. And like you said, the quick turns. And I mean, just to see that at the goal line, too, where somebody's got somebody cut off and then they don't want to over pursue, but then they go too far. That quick little cutback across the line. So 30-27, though, the gray team leading over the red team.
You have to know where you are, where your players are, and where the other players are all at the same time. So you know, and then when you're passing to another player, you got to know what kind of function they have.
Right.
So you know where they can catch the ball and where they can't.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like a tall person passing to a short person.
Yeah.
You know
you
they can't reach that
go
high.
Straight, so,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, turnover there as Simons gets it up to Graham. And they're extending their lead to 4, 31-27 here in the third quarter. 5:25 left as now Chris Hall will get the inbounds and trying to get through it, trying to direct a little traffic. Takes a dribble there and almost gets it poked away by Diaz De Leon. Now he'll take a timeout, trying to get everybody set up. So he's going to go down to the other end. He's going to get his team, and like you said, first time playing with guys, Ryan. I mean, it gets, you know, like you said, you play on a club team. You're used to playing with people. You kind of know where they're going to be. If they change something up, they'll adjust quickly. Here, it's, hey, how's it going? Let's.
Absolutely, and also in rugby, there's also different styles of play. There's East Coast and West Coast style.
Oh,
believe it or not,
holding that information out in the first
There's
half.
a run and gun style, then there's a slow it down and pass and make your plays up the court.
So what's the biggest difference between East and West then?
The biggest difference is West Coast generally likes to run and just fly. They don't slow down for anything. And
I did see a lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the West, like East Coast, generally runs more plays, picking plays, and more passing. A lot less passing in West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and well, back in the game, there is Scrappy Smith, and he checks in, and look at that.
Smooth.
Bounces to him, and nobody there to keep up with Scrappy. It is Hal Scrappy Smith, but again, this is his third games, and he was in the Navy. So that makes it 31-20. Man, they needed that. It was a scoring spree there for the great team.
See, well, they took out Chris Hall because the mismatch, right? So they've got three ball handlers on the court with the new guy, number 3 there, Gerald, which evens it out more. So there's more places the ball can go to, and now the gray team has to cover more players rather than just one.
So with Scrappy coming in, he is number 1, and now the inbound from the side here for the gray team as Gabriel Diaz De Leon will send it in, gets it right over to Mason Simons. Just letting him know he's right there is Chet Miller. Oh no. What wisdom do we have now?
Just Steve saying hi.
Oh, okay.
He wants me to tell all my teammates that they suck.
Oh man. Steve, why aren't you here, man? Come, just to get
He
in
said the
car.
same thing. He goes, I wish I was there so I could announce your game.
Oh, well, I mean, see, we would have to talk about the game, though. We couldn't just be making fun of him the whole time. That's the only problem. Just hop, you know, get on over here,
Jump on
Steve.
the plane, Steve. Come on. Get here for the gold medal game.
Yeah, come in on Saturday. I'll even let you buy me dinner. I'll let you say whatever you want, but you got to buy me dinner, Steve. Food is my fee.
Yeah, hey, I tell you what, that's a perfect fee.
Because gosh knows Mike Danik and the other guys, Brandon and whoever else was there, go to lunch without me. Don't even let me know. But, no, it's all right, you know. Team effort. 33-28 the score. For those of you that can't see, Mike is making sure we're coming to you live. Got to found that information out last night. They went to eat lunch. I'm like, I'm real glad you guys went and had lunch. Couldn't even let me know.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it was
I didn't even get invited.
Well, like I said, I would have invited you, but yeah, I mean, Mike and them, Brandon, and I guess Arturo was there as well. Was Arturo there? Yeah, Arturo too. So, yeah, we can give him a hard time when we see him later. 34-28 now. Look at this.
Look at Scrappy taking it down the sideline.
Oh, Scrappy.
And loses the ball.
Mason just collide. Mason causing the turnover, getting, well, a few teammates to get in the way, and now he's just going to take a few more seconds off the clock. And now he will, nope. Now he'll turn around and go across the goal line and make it a touchdown lead, 35-28. But, man, go back to that collision. Man, that's tough to hold for anybody. I don't care what number you are. That's tough to hold on to that.
No, yeah, when he went in for that hit, he was bracing for the hit and not holding on to the ball. Yep, so it's
Which
you
makes
gotta pick
sense.
one.
I'm sorry.
You got to pick one, yeah.
You know, when people say, and it's always fun to pick on receivers in football, you see a pass go over the middle, and then you see them like, oh, and then they kind of duck their shoulder. Come on.
Absolutely. And as light as he is, I mean, he's got to be careful with that because he's top heavy too. But he's got some trunk so he can control it.
Well, it was control there. Steve, I mean, we don't have a dumb button, so you got to be. I'm not saying PC. It's got to be PG-13, buddy. We're here for support and fun. And if I do get in a chair, I will make sure that Dave and Mike are out there. So I just want to collide with them. Man, I don't even want to score points. I just want to demolish them.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
I want to score points, but demolishing them on the way to scoring points.
Well, the experiencing the hit is the best part of the game.
Right.
When you get to lay one out on somebody, it's the best.
Well, the timeout. 3:13 left to go here in the third quarter. 35-28. The gray team, gets the lead. They extended it to 7 now. Like I said, a touchdown lead. But for the red team coming back in, we have Chet Miller and Scrappy Smith on the court with them, along with Gerald Bartles and Larry Porter. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was actually number 12, not Larry, not 00, number 12, Robert Fecto. Oh, it goes up to Gabriel Diaz de Leon. Can he get it? No. Scrappy cuts him off. Goes in front of him. Oh, actually, Scrappy, that's right. They switched ends. So Scrappy, actually, Gabriel was trying to take it away from him, but Red needed that. So now it is 35-29 here in the third quarter. Oh, another collision there.
This is where those subs come in here. Yep, putting the right subs in at the right time, getting it over with early. Because now they're in the fourth quarter here, you're going to see the 2 number 1 lineups go after each other. And that's going to get interesting. Especially with Chris getting some breathing air time.
Yes.
Like getting some breath here. Yep, absolutely.
So but Mason was able to score there. She made it 36-29. Gray with the lead. Now Chris Hall with the ball. Or I'm sorry, that's Chet Miller. Chris, you said Chris. I was thinking Chris. I mean, yeah, if he's on the ball, if he has a ball on the sidelines, they're kind of in a little bit of trouble. So I get that.
Yeah, they definitely are not lookalikes by any means.
No. I just looked at the wrong number. I was like, oh yeah, nope. I looked up and he was right in front of me, but yeah, on the sideline. So, but now he checks back. So he must have heard me. Said, all right, we'll get back.
Okay, we'll get back in
yeah.
here. Yep, you can't mess up anymore.
36-29, like I said, the score. 2:20 left to go in the third. That is Ryan Lindstrom. He's playing on the gold team. Coming up right after this here on Quad Rugby, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games from the Queen City. And getting the point there is Jesse Graham. Gets the goal. Turnover right there makes it 38-29. Oh, and now look at this. Joel Rodriguez breaking. Can he get there? Oh, he gets run into by Graham, but Rodriguez.
Keeping it safe, though.
And look at flying into his teammate.
I had to say it.
It's Chris Hall.
I jinxed him.
Well, Chris Hall came in to see it. Oh, now we have a held ball. And Graham trying to say, oh, come on. No, it wasn't, but not happening there. Joel Rodriguez will come over and inbound. Again, Rodriguez's third games and gaining more experience, like you said, playing rugby.
Absolutely.
It's tough to do. But again, basketball is one thing. I mean, basketball, again, you still have to get in rhythm with the team.
Last night was my first game ever playing basketball.
Oh,
and
nice.
it was definitely interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a learning experience for sure.
Because you just wanted to charge at people.
Well, because I tell you what, well, that too. There's so many times I was sitting there and I watched a turnover down there and I see the guy coming up court and I'm like, oh, I could clean him up.
I'm not laughing because from a broadcast standpoint, I love to see it. I go, well, he thought he was on the rugby court.
Yeah, exactly. There was a guy even went down next to me. I said, I swear I didn't do it. They were all like, Bully, what'd you do? I was, no, wait, wasn't me, I swear.
Well, he's getting the goal there as Jesse Graham makes it 39-29, 1:15 now left to go in the third.
Chris pushing his own player out of the way to get through the pile there.
And, well, he's going to coast in and take a little bit of time, but not too much as he gets the goal there, getting his team back to within 9, making it 39-30. But they're going to have a little bit of a mountain to climb in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Big mountain. 9 points in rugby is a huge mountain. It all kind of depends on if Gray got all their subs in.
Scrappy. Oh, look at that. A little bump there from Mason Simons delivering the blow to Scrappy Smith and makes it 40-30.
That's kind of like that high step into the end zone.
Yeah. That is one way to look at it. And again, to me, that the high step, all right, but the backward, going in backwards, a little bit of taunting there, a little bit of showing off.
Absolutely. That high step in the end zone when that guy's chasing you down right there.
So 40-30, and Chris Hall getting looked at, seeing if there was an issue with his wheel, but everything's fine as he sets up and goes. Yeah, just the dents that you get alone is absolutely crazy.
Unreal, yeah.
And it looked like Mason Simons, somebody that kind of hit his hand. It's shocking to me the little bit I've watched this to see that doesn't happen more.
I tell you what, a big part of it is the fact that the wheels are cambered out, and all the contact with the chairs is at an exact height off the ground. It's 11 centimeters.
Okay.
So if unless your hands are down here, you're generally not going to have contact.
Right.
It happens. The tip of my finger here was actually sewn back on. That was years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
40-31, Red got the goal there as Chet Miller went across the line, and now Gabriel Diaz de Leon trying to make a move. Can he escape? But here comes.
Generally in this sport, you don't ever pass to your low pointer unless it's out of desperation.
Right.
Yeah. That's a big turnover right there for Red. Oh, Joel, don't move. Joel should have stayed right there.
What now? Why should you stay down there with
Because
Mason?
he's keeping Mason away from the play. Now Mason's going to be back on defense down here.
Oh, they have Joel inbounding.
Yep.
I gotcha. Well, gets it to Chris Hall. A little traffic jam at the sidelines there. And now Chris Hall. Ooh, 3-on-1. He tried to get it behind the back
Could have been.
to Scrappy Smith, but Mason Simons tries to stop him, and now Hall hits the deck again. I guess he might be posting that one.
Yep. Well, I tell you what, Hall dropped a lot of weight here and has been really working hard to get in really good shape, and he's doing really well, but he's not quite used to being lighter yet. So every once in a while, yeah. He's used to putting that hit out there and not going anywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Steve, you might actually have to come here because if I get out there, I'm going to need you to set a lot of picks for me. You got to take the brunt of it, Steve. That's the deal. I'll get on the court. Well, only if you're on my team, too. And
there we go.
I'll have you on my team. And
I'm good with it.
I mean,
I'll
pass all day. I'll just throw. I'm an assist person, man.
You got to at least take a couple hits, put a couple hits out there.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm saying, I'll take the hits, but I'm like, hey, here you go. Go, score. I'll actually cherry pick backwards. I'll cherry pick on the defense when somebody's coming at me, but yeah, let's go.
Oh, I tell you, that's the best fun when you're on defense and one of your players is bringing somebody up the sideline and you come across the top and just clean. Oh, that is so much fun.
I'm laughing because it's awesome to me.
When you hit somebody
giddy like that.
Yeah, when you hit somebody so hard they go into the score table.
Oh, I'm down with that. Scrappy Smith with the ball now. Well, they get it across. Well, they had somebody there, but no shot there. So, well, they keep it under 10. He said 10's big. I mean, it's 9. But at the end of 3, the gray team is leading the red team 40-31. Quad Rugby here at the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games is brought to you in part by our friends at General Electric. GE doing such a great job making sure we could bring you Quad Rugby and just all year long being involved. And our friends at Procter & Gamble P&G right here in Cincinnati, their own backyard, and hoping it's going well. Pogo caught up with them. Again, a lot of the pieces you'll see, but we caught up with GE, and hopefully they can get on board next year for Orlando. We'll step aside real quick. When we get back, we will have the fourth quarter between the red team and the gray team. Right now, gray leading 40-31.
Both sides, both sides. Hey, on Chris. Come on.
Back here at the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games. Quad Rugby, the fourth quarter between the gray and the red team. Gray up 40-31. If you want to thank GE, General Electric, and Procter & Gamble, P&G, for sponsoring Quad Rugby. So back on the court for the red team is, we have number 10, that is Chet Miller, along with number 11, Joel Rodriguez, number 13, Chris Hall, and number 1, Scrappy Howell. And for the gray team, number 5, Mason Simons, number 10 is Davis Celestine, 00 is Lauren Strong, and number 2, Jesse Graham. And Simons trying to get by. Oh, has to pass it, goes all the way across court. Ooh, and Celestine just couldn't knock it down, and it's a turnover. And look at this, here comes Scrappy Smith. Trying to, well, will he get cut off? No, just goes inside as Jesse Graham. Again, I can see why he might be driving some guys crazy right at the goal line there.
Yep, see? And if you notice here, Red's got their starting lineup back on the court. They've got their best lineup on the court right now. And Gray has their subs in the fourth quarter. So this is where it's going to get interesting as the score.
It's bounced. Oh, and it's turned over, and Chris Hall is going to take it the other way as he gets met by Celestine. He makes him dump it off, but there goes Howell, Scrappy Smith. And taking a little bit of time there. So, Steve, I did see the text. You're used to carrying the load. Well, maybe if you set better picks, you wouldn't have to carry too much. I mean, Ryan may or may not have disagreed or agreed with that. May have not said it in words, but it's all right, Steve. We love you, buddy. We love you. We're glad you're on his club team, and you might have to give him a few shots when you get back. Who knows? Look at this run now. 40-35, and we are a minute and a half in. Oh, and look at this, getting there. Jesse Graham will make it 41-35. And now we get a timeout. Looks like, no. Might be. Chris Hall's on he's on the sideline. Oh, yep, it's his wheel, so coming out. And again, it's like having the pit crew come right out. So that's just awesome.
It's a quick change, too.
Yeah.
And when that tire goes over there, that tube's getting changed right there on the sideline. Yep. Hopefully it's not the tire blowing out, it's just the tube.
Yes, I was going to say, because if it's the tire, then that's not.
Because with the contact with those high pickers, that's what kills those tires.
Gotcha.
That little tiny bar just
boom.
And when one goes off after it's been hit, not at the same time, and it's in the gym, oh man, it sounds like a gunshot.
It does. Joel Rodriguez with it as Mason Simons went into Scrappy Smith to try and stop the convoy he had for Chris Hall, but Chris Hall gets it up to Rodriguez and the red team back to within 5, and now we're all tangled up back there as he shot Smith back into Hall. That's how hard Simons hit him in his chair. They got connected, and the referees separated them there.
A little argument about it, if it's a foul or a jump.
Well, Jesse Graham has been 2 times now. He's been lobbying for those calls, Ryan. But
absolutely, you always lobby a little bit here. And there.
And a competitor with referees lobbying for anything never happened.
Who does that?
And considering that, of course, in the competitor's eyes, the calls are never right, especially when it's against us.
Exactly.
Simons will get it over to Graham. As Rodriguez trying to get there, Hull trying to get there. Leaning forward just a little bit. I love it. 42-36 the score. Hull with the ball. Ooh, stays in bounds, and look at that. Going to go by.
Caught Mason sitting there still. Yep.
Oh, but now they, instead of going back and forth at 10, they're keeping it to within 5. So we'll see. They can get back, but we'll see about. So now Mason Simons has it and just going across the lane. Ooh. So Rodriguez is there along with Chet Miller, but look at that, Simons going backwards, and he ducks as he passes it because he took a little bit of a hit. Again, he likes the. I like the move going backwards, but when you know you're about to take a hit to brace and not go down, he led his teammate, but maybe just a little bit too far. As it went out, and it'll be a turnover, red ball, and Hull will get it into Chet Miller. Miller now, well, nice. Scrappy Smith up there, but Miller, just a little how you doing at the goal line there as Graham sends him across.
Well, hey, I'm right here.
It's 42-38, so now a 4-point game.
Let's see down here, they had them all blocked in. Mason was just waiting there for the ball to come up to him.
He does get it, but a few bounces there. And it's Rodriguez and Miller there. Now he gets it over to Graham. Graham will get it back to him as he's scooting backwards, and thought about sending it cross court, but makes a few moves and just a quick turning and trying not to have a held ball. Look, it takes a dribble there. Directed traffic, gets it across court to Celestine. And Celestine trying to back in, but look at that, Hall keeping him out. Oh, and he's able to slip by.
Yep.
It's a 43. That's tough, especially back because he's blocking you out. He's even, but it's like you're trying to go and his momentum's taking you away.
Absolutely.
Just inside the cone there. Chet Miller gets a little how you doing from Mason Simons. Graham with the ball. With a turnover there from Red. Simons has it, gets it over to Celestine again. Still a 30-second shot clock, and I heard the coach, I was about to say to you, this is about the time with the lead. You want to chew up every second of the shot
every
clock.
second you can.
So, yeah, getting pinned in and dribbling. All right.
Especially with it as close as it really is here in this game. Yeah.
So Mason Simons scores, makes it 44-39, but the red team needing to score quick. Ooh, Scrappy Smith couldn't grab all of it. He tips it, but they'll just let it go out, and it'll be inbounded back down. Oh, well, right here, it'll be Gray's ball. So going to inbound it will be the David Celestine, number 10. Gets it to Mason Simons, and now Celestine starting to break away, and we get is that a foul or a held ball? It's called a foul. Ryan's in disagreement with that right there.
No, I agree with it, but I disagree with him actually fouling, reaching for the ball at all right there.
You have some good comebacks, Steve, but you're behaving. I mean, I'm not going to repeat the bad ones on air. You want a shot at the title? I mean, I think Ryan and I can take you with the trash talking, Steve. I'm just saying, I'm pretty witty. Ryan's
He's
on the court I'll get beat up, but I mean, I think Ryan and I can we can go back and forth. Oh, and look at that, going right across there is Mason Simons.
Back there with that foul, Chet Miller, the red team had the gray team stopped. Chet Miller should have kept his hands on his wheels, not reached, and just let it happen, because that 12 seconds was coming up quick.
Oh, that's right. You still have to get the ball across the court in the 12 seconds. So now Chet Miller has the ball, and he's waiting for his team to catch up, seeing if we have a held ball, but Chet Miller able to keep it. Ooh. And there is Scrappy Smith.
Nice grab.
Takes the spin. They're taking a little bit of time, but I don't know why, because they're down. Now Scrappy Smith will go across on the pass from Chris Hull. I thought it was 40. Well,
I think it should be.
Yeah, I'm going with 45-40. We'll see if the official score changes it. And now, the great team again with the lead. 3:20 left to go. Trying to use the shot clock, but again, you got to make sure. The other side of that, no matter what, in any
Still
sport,
got to
shot
get
clock,
the goal.
you
Yep.
got to get the goal.
I think the rule really there is you get the ball, you take the goal when you have it, and you can take ticks, but you got to get that goal.
Oh, and a pass there. Nice defense by Simon's. Pass goes high, can't get to it. It goes out. Well, now he's attacking your play, man.
See?
I don't see. I'm not going there, see, because you know, I mean, in practice next time, if your chair hits the ground a few times, Steve, I'm just saying. Well, official score hasn't changed it yet. It says 45-39. I thought it was 40 as that was cleared very long. Jesse Graham. Nice move there by Graham, and takes a dribble, and yeah, a nice little guide across the line by Scrappy Smith. And well, we go with 39, but I could have swore the red team got that extra goal. 2.5 left to go. Well, 2:31, and now they get the goal, saying it's. And we get a timeout called.
A bench timeout here.
So what's a bench timeout?
A bench timeout is basically if the coach wants to call a time. It can't be called on the court, and it can't be called during play. It can only be called after a stoppage of play. And it's just kind of one of those extra timeouts that they give you for if you need to make a sub or if you want to talk about something to get it because they got 2 minutes 30 seconds here, or give somebody a break, give them a breather.
But a bench timeout is different than somebody calling a regular timeout.
Absolutely, a regular timeout you can call to save yourself from a 12-second half court, or if you're on the line at half court and you're about to get knocked back over, you can call timeout, or before you go out of bounds.
But you can't call a bench timeout.
No. You have to, if you don't have any regular timeouts, you can't use a bench timeout.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Or like if you're going down to the ground and you have possession of the ball, you can't hit the ground with the ball. If you have the ball, you have to call timeout before you hit the ground, or it's a turnover.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, love these rules. The strategy that goes into it.
A lot of quick thinking. It's a fast-paced game. I mean, you're looking at 4 8-minute quarters, and the score is 46-40 with 1 point per goal.
Right. Mason Simons, look at that, gets the inbounds, and he is just jetting down court. Takes a dribble, goes across the goal line. Well, I guess I was 1 point off. I thought maybe if they waved it off, that makes it 47-40.
Well, you were probably 1 point on. You were probably right, but they may have missed it. And that happens sometimes. And that's where on the sideline you have to be paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it could be 47-41. Either way, the red team trailing as Scrappy Smith with the ball and makes a move to get away from Simons. Nice bump there by Chet Miller. And look at this. Yeah, Joel Rodriguez catches the pass as it's going low. Goes across the... Trailing by 6 with 2 minutes left to go. 30. The shot clock is running, so Gray has no problem taking their time.
Right now, and this is always a faux pas with my coach. He said this, and it's always messed us up. If technically right now, if the Gray team got the ball over half court and ran the 40 clock out without scoring each time, they still win.
Oh, that is very true. Just take the shot clock violation.
Yeah.
And what if they start fouling you? You just keep possession, though, right?
They go in the box.
Oh, that's right.
And you got 3 on 4.
Yeah, no, don't want that.
It's not like basketball where a foul.
All right, yeah, that's what I was like, trying to get free throws. Yeah, you said that before too. I was like, oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, if you foul on the baseline when they're about to score and there's nobody in front of the player, it's called a penalty goal.
Okay, gotcha.
So it acts as
so
a
it's
goal.
like time already served.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a goal already.
That's actually a bad thing. Like we're going, like we're going court, time already served. So the penalty's already served.
So you're not going to jail.
Yeah, we're not going to jail. Comes into Simons, and again he's just making some moves up top as Chet Miller trying to make a play, but Simons throws it across court to Graham, and Jesse Graham make it 49-41. Steve, we appreciate you checking us out. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, the red team maybe struggled a little bit towards the end. See if Scrappy Smith can get in. Ooh, that backing up is Smith. Ooh, had a chance to go. Oh, look at that bounce pass to Miller. No, but he hit
into the cone.
But everybody, the hands were right there. And
so pretty
Scrappy
too.
just
set up.
Quickly bounced past it to him, and he just couldn't control it.
Boy.
It's inbounded and. Jesse Graham will get it, but no rush to really score. Still another 25 seconds on the shot clock as Mason Simons has it, throws it down to Gabriel Diaz de Leon, and well, he'll put the 50th point of the match up for his team.
Oh no. Yep.
And, he's going to pick it up right before the goal line. And so it's 51-41. I still stand by it. It's 51-40. But I didn't see the ref could have waved. I didn't see him wave the goal off. So
I didn't either. It was a goal, and and unfortunately that could change the momentum of a game completely. When you look at the score clock, and it's 5 points instead of 4. Yeah. Because as crazy as it sounds, that is a huge difference.
Right, no, absolutely. Absolutely. So 15 left to go as Diaz de Leon is just trying to get across half court, which is all he really has to do, and he's able to do
safe
that.
Here, get your dribble, 6.
So with the dribble, you have to.
Yep, you have to dribble within 10 seconds.
10 seconds,
right. So
okay.
He's got 15 seconds.
Right.
Wait till the clock's down to 5. Get your dribble, covered up, you're done for the game.
Well, speaking of done for the game, wow, 51 to, 42, we'll say unofficially. It could be 43, but either way, the gray team takes it over the red. Want to thank Procter & Gamble, P&G, for being a proud sponsor of Quad Rugby here at the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, and our friends at General Electric, GE, making it happen. You see the teams shaking hands. Well, Mr. Lindstrom, thank you for joining me. It was absolutely awesome. So I know Steve won't be texting me. I would give my number out on air, Steve, and let you text me. Then I'd probably be cracking up too much. And I need to pay attention to the man that taught you everything, Steve. No, but Ryan's going to play next, so don't go too far. We will have the next game between the gold team and the black team about 17 minutes away-ish. Wheelchairgames.org. Check it out. And we'll have more coming up here from the Queen City in Cincinnati, Ohio, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games. More coming up after this.